I'm going to go ahead and start with just the first example, the first card and envelope in the handbook. And what I've done here is I have just some polka dot paper. And I will talk about the envelope in just a second. I'm making the card. I want to probably make sure that the card is not larger than, I'm going to say 4 inches. That way the envelope won't be so huge on my, my 12 by 12 mat. So I'm going to set my size to 4. And I'm going to pick my cut. This is really simple. I don't need to push any extra buttons because what I'm doing is just the regular, it's the scallop. And I really like the corners. They're really pretty. Okay, hit the scallop. Make sure I have everything set. I have my blade. I could probably put my blade to 5. I'm not using thick cardstock right now. Okay, and it's cutting away. 4 inches. And I'm also going to make a matching envelope. I'm going to be using the same cardstock paper. It's just a little bit thicker than regular pattern paper, and it has white on or pink on the other side. So my envelope will be pink, but on the inside liner it will be matching the card. And here we go. Let's unload and see what this looks like. Ooh, this one's going to be really pretty. Okay. Take this off without ripping it. Okay. And here I have my scallop. And if you have the toolkit, it might be helpful to get rid of these little small pieces in the corners. But once I do that, it'll be great. There's already the marks for the scoring. There's the 2 blades, blade marks. And you just have to line them up and score with them, and I'll show you how to do that when we make the card. Now what you want to remember when you're making the envelope is you want to make sure that you do not have the real size button on and you didn't have it on when you were making your card that matched. You want to have, I always just have my paper saver button on. But make sure that real size is not on. That will make a difference. You don't want to change the size. You don't want to change anything. You don't want to, if you say, well, I need a bigger card to match this envelope, don't worry about it. The cartridge and the Cricut are pretty smart and they can figure that out for you. So we're just going to hit Shift for the envelope, and we're going to hit the envelope. If you want to wait and look on your screen and make sure that it's the right one, that you've hit the right button. Okay, now we're going to hit Cut. Oh, it says characters won't fit. Okay, so what that means is I need to go back and make a smaller card. So I'll do that in a minute. I'll do that on my own time. So what I'm going to do is just try to go down a little bit. So I'll go down to, let's say 3.5 and repeat and cut it. Okay, so it worked at 3.5, so I need to make sure that I go back, and I'm going to be using a 3.5 card instead of 4 inches, so make note of that. Okay, so here is my envelope. So if you want a really huge card, that's fine, but you might not be able to make a matching envelope with it using your Cricut. Or you might just want to pull out your 12 by 24 mat. That might work too. Okay, here's the envelope. And it also has the cute little scallops on it. This is just, I can tell, going to be one of my favorite cartridges. And I'll show you how to put this together in a second. You're going to want to use strong tape, either red tape or an ATG gun tape. So here we are. All right, what you're going to need first is a scorer. I have my Provocraft trimmer that I have a scoring blade in instead of the regular blade. You can also use a bone folder. Just use it like you would the scoring blade. Really easy to use. I'm just scoring. They give you little notches. It's really easy just to line up and score them. And this just makes the really cutest card ever. Okay, here's the envelope. You also want to score. It looks like there's 4 places on this envelope where you'll be scoring. And I actually love this cartridge. Have I already said that a million times? It's going to be one of my favorites, I can tell. Okay, I'm trying to find where the other scoring notches are, and I found them. Here they are. Now you're going to want to use a very strong adhesive when you're putting together your envelope, especially if you're sending it in the mail, because it would just be really horrible if it came undone. And I'm using a bone folder to get really tight creases, and I want my pattern to be on the inside. So when they open it up, it will match my card. And it's just so super adorable. Look at that. Isn't that so cute? Okay, so I'm using my ATG gun. It's a 714. I bought it from framingsupplies.com. And I also used the ATG gold tape that I bought from framingsupplies.com also. It was the best deal at the time. So I don't know what the best deal is right now. Okay, so here's my envelope. And here's my little card that I'm making to match it. Just fold it over. And here we go. Now I am also using the wild card cartridge to cut this tree from. It's button number 7, I believe, the icon. And I'm just using, that's just Zig 2-way glue. And I use that all the time with my Cricut cuts. Very strong, and I just love it. Okay, I'm trying to get this to line up, and I'm having a little bit of problems with it, but that's okay. You get the idea here. Now I want to use, to stick it on, I'm not really sure yet. Okay, I'm going to add a stamp on here. This is a paper tray ink stamp, and it's called Paper Tray. It's from papertrayink.com, and that's chocolate chip Stampin' Up! Pad. Okay, and I have it cut off so you can't really see it. But I just stamped Best Friends, and if you wanted to, you could distress with that or whatever. And this is just going to be really a simple card, just to kind of give you the idea of what you can do. This is a Stampin' Dimensional. It's like a pop dot. Just sticking my tree on there. And there's 2 little holes there, and those are to be used with ribbon to kind of just keep it closed. I think cording would be the best ribbon to use. I'm using, this is also Paper Tray ink ribbon, and it's kind of like velvety ribbon. It's really thick, so if I was using thinner paper, it probably would have ripped it. It was kind of, I struggled getting it in there a little bit. And all I'm doing here is just a little square knot. You tie one way, and then you just tie the second time, you tie it the opposite direction. It's normally really easy to do. I'm having some problems with this bow, and I'm just cutting it a little bit. Okay, you could keep your card like this, just really simple, elegant, but I'm going to, isn't that so cute? It matches. So sweet, I love it. Okay, but I'm not done, because I want a little bling. And so I'm going to, of course, what do you add when you want bling? You add stickles. I love stickles. They are just so easy to use. I'm just adding them on the leaves, so I have little bling leaves. And this is great to give to a friend. And after I made this, my daughter said, "Mom, I want to make one for all my friends." So I hope you enjoyed this.